You are listening to ChartingWealth.com for Thursday, the 2nd of February, 2017. I am traveling. Apologize for any background noise and any disturbances we might have. Markets are up as far as the stock market goes. S&P 500 barely up. Nasdaq doing better. Gold and gold and bonds are down. Now let's talk about what's going on specifically. We'll jump right into the S&P 500 as depicted by SPY. The Spiders S&P 500 Trust Series Exchange Traded Fund. We're still going down on the 2-day chart. Weekly is still in an uptrend, although that is getting progressively weaker, but it has not crossed over going down yet. So we do not have a trade in the S&P 500 because it's not moving in the direction. Both our big charts, our weekly and our 2-day, are not moving in the same direction. So we have no trade there. Waiting to see if indeed the 2-day will rotate over in the same direction as the weekly, or the weekly will rotate over in the same direction as the 2-day. When that happens, we'll talk more about the S&P. Right now, we don't have anything. Next, we go to the Qs, and we've got a wonderful trade that just keeps giving. The weekly chart crossed over back on the 9th, actually at the end of the week. That would have been on the 6th. But the 9th, which was the beginning of the following week, was our jumping in point around 121. Finished the day at 125.33, 125.43. So again, nice continued movement. Had a stalling that we were a little worried about, but the 2-day kept going, did not cross over going down, although derivative oscillators losing some energy, but that just keeps moving up, although we did reach our high all the way back on the Friday the 27th, the high 25.92, the high during the course of the day, well, so far on the 2-day candle, up to Wednesday the 1st, the high was 125.68. So again, it's trying to keep edging up. We'll continue to watch. So we are in that right now. Now, if we, of course, look at where we are on the 2-hour chart, we, of course, are waiting for that. Just barely crossed over toward the end of the day. Look for a potential entry point there in the morning. We've been waiting, and finally that's starting to happen. So keep an eye on that. You might be able to jump in and follow that trend if it keeps going up. So keep all of that in mind as you look for the Qs rotating back over, going back up again. So that is where we are on the Qs and on the S&P 500. We've continued to see that weekly trend continue to move ahead for us. Now let's go to TLT, still on the 2-day chart. TLT, of course, is the 20-year Treasury bond fund. What do we see going on there? Well, we're waiting to see if indeed the weekly is going to end the week crossing over going up. It's trying at this point, but until the week ends, we can't call it that. We don't have a trade yet because our weekly still in a downtrend. When that changes over, we'll see what the offerings are. Now, what about gold? Gold down for the day, 0.30%, not very much. Gold, of course, crossed over. If we go to our weekly chart, we can see that gold crossed over going up the week ending the 27th. And of course, we had a jumping in point on Monday. Gold on the 2-day chart still moving up, as it were, although the derivative oscillator is losing energy. Just be careful. We did jump in recently, and we don't want to lose what gains we have made. So just keep your eye on this 2-day chart, and you may be looking to get out of that if indeed gold rolls over. We'll just have to see. Right now, it's moving up, both on the 2-day chart, and again, as we look at our weekly chart, we see derivative oscillator continuing to gain energy and gold moving up. So let's continue to believe in our weekly chart unless it gets torn apart by a huge move down on that 2-day crossing over going down. That's where we are as we end the day. Pretty quick chart coverage. Of course, what we had been looking for on this Qs, we have been able to play with, and we are just happy to see that crossover happening again, going up on the Qs. and we'll continue to keep an eye on that short chart and see if indeed that gives us an entry point in the morning. Thank you so much for being with us. You have questions, problems, concerns, we're always happy to hear from you. You can write us at chartingwealth.com. If you're not signed up for a newsletter, man, you need to do so. What do you get every day? You get this chart review where we cover the S&P 500, the Qs, which represents the Nasdaq 100, gold, and the 20-year bond fund. We've got a lot of interesting things going on as this new year begins and as we get into the second month of this new year. And please follow us Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. If you want to help us out, go to YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and also go to iTunes, subscribe there, give us a 5-star rating, say something nice about us. You can also do the same at Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Thanks so much, folks. Lots of good training. Just put out another training yesterday. If you're signed up for our newsletter, you would have gotten it. It's also posted at the Charting Wealth website about the market as a fickle mistress, and she sure is. And we tell you how to deal with her. You don't try to forecast what she's going to do. You trend follow. And we get into that on that latest training that, again, you can find at chartingwealth.com. You can also find it at our YouTube channel. Thank you so much, folks. God bless. We will talk to you soon from chartingwealth.com.